What's up, AnimeBallZ fans? Ray here with another exciting episode of What's New Japan, the segment where I pretty much yell into my microphone, send it off to Criddle, who puts his own twist of humour on the video and then uploads it to YouTube in the hopes that it'll make you laugh. And if you happen to learn something along the way, then that's even better. Seriously though, What's New Japan is the segment that I try to release weekly where I find out what's coming out in Japan right now and I tell you about it in the hopes that when it finally gets an English release, you'll have found it interesting enough to give it a shot. That being said, let's get started. First up on my list of anime for you to watch this week is an anime called Boku no Imoto wa Osaka Okan. That is way too many O's for one title. Anyway, the anime adapts Chukei Supan's popular Osaka Okan rule, or Osaka Mama rules in English, I guess that's what it's called, and also the Osaka rule books that offer a tongue-in-cheek guide to dealing with people from Osaka, particularly the stereotypical Osaka mums. Anyway, in the story of the anime, Kyosuke has spent about a decade living apart from his little sister named Namika. Now, Kyosuke is looking forward to reuniting with his sister as they live together again. But as he finds, to what I believe will be his dismay, Namika is nothing like he remembers. What will she be like? What hilarity will ensue from them living together after spending a decade apart? I don't know. You don't know. You'll have to watch the anime if you want to find out. The next anime I have on my list to tell you about this week is an anime that deals with a subject matter that is rather close to my heart, as it is a game that I have found myself enjoying more and more recently in the past couple of years. The subject matter in question is the Japanese game of Mahjong, and the anime is called Saki a Chicken Hen episode of Side A. The premise is as follows. The Ichika Girls Academy in Nara once defeated regional Mahjong powerhouse Bonsei High School. It advanced into the national team semi-finals, but lost to the eventual champion, and the Mahjong club was later disbanded. 6 years later, elementary school student Shizuno Takakamo befriends transfer student Nodoka Haramura. The two eventually enter Ichika Girls, but Nodoka transfers out of the school in the second year. When Shizuno sees Nodoka on television the following year as the national middle school individual Mahjong champion, she decides to revive Ichika's Mahjong club. Whether she succeeds or not is yet to be seen, as I haven't actually had a look at this anime, because it doesn't come out until Christmas Eve in Japan. But if I had to put a guess on it, I'd say that she probably does succeed in reviving the Mahjong club, and it will be consisted of several misfits in the school. Though it'll usually turn out to be like the typical underdog story. Either way, Mahjong is quite an interesting game, and I do recommend that people check this one out. If you don't particularly know much about Mahjong, another anime that I could probably recommend to you to check out is an anime called Akagi, which not only deals with Mahjong on quite a interesting note, but it also gives little notes about the rules of Mahjong as the anime continues. Either way, the final anime on my list for you this week is an anime called Savannah Game, which is an anime that is due for release in Japan sometime before the end of the year, and follows the popularity of such stories as The Hunger Games, Battle Royale, and anything else that has a large number of people trying to kill each other in a confined space. The story follows a young man named Kazuya Shibuya, who receives an anonymous email message out of the blue one day that simply states, "Won't you join the Savannah Game?" The message is an invitation to a state-sanctioned killing game, a deadly role-playing game designed to motivate the inhibited youth of modern Japan. Shibuya and his two friends, Kotogawa and Kudo, find themselves in bizarre battles that span the space-time continuum, with everything from dragons to the Shinseng Yumi force of the Shigatsu era. Now, I realize that I've probably mispronounced quite a few words in that, I guess you'd call it a synopsis, but that's because this is probably going to be a really good series. The premise is actually really exciting me now that I think about it. It's like Battle Royale meets Doctor Who, and I don't think I've ever gone on record and said this, but Battle Royale was one of my favorite Japanese movies of all time. But I just can't get over the fact that nobody has actually tried to do this before. Or if they have tried to do this before, then it failed so badly that no one's ever heard of it. I can't recommend this one enough to you guys. Unfortunately, I don't have a concrete release date for you just yet. It just says that it should be out before the end of the year. But definitely keep an eye out for it when it finally reaches an English-speaking country, and hopefully it's as good as it sounds. So at the end of another week of What's New Japan, I've told you about an anime that revolves around a game close to my heart, the Japanese game of Mahjong. I've told you about an anime which more or less tongue-in-cheek parodies Osaka people, and I've told you about what I'm now going to be referring to as Battle Royale meets Doctor Who. Seriously, go check that one out, guys, when it finally reaches wherever you live. I'm Ray. This has been another episode of What's New Japan. Catch you on the flip side.